Welcome back. Now, yesterday, the CEO of Revolut Europe, John Hennigan, told the Irish Times that the company plans to provide mortgages in the Irish market early next year.
Yes, so join us now to discuss this move is Dara Cassidy from bonkers.ie. Good morning to you, Dara. So potentially good news given the scale of customer base here in Ireland that use Revolut. So what do you make of them launching mortgages?
Look, it's good news. Anytime there's more competition in the markets, whether it's mortgages or whether it's car insurance, is usually a good thing. Everyone is familiar with Revolut. I'm sure they'll make the mortgage application process as slick as possible and as smooth as possible. I would say, though, the devil is in the detail, because I think a lot of people are getting carried away with themselves and they think this is going to be hugely transformative. But we don't know what rates they're going to offer. We don't know if they're going to offer mortgages maybe into your late 70s or 80s, as some of the mortgage providers do. We don't know how strict they're going to be with their mortgage lending. A lot of people may not be able to get a mortgage with Revolut, you know. Yeah. And then also, people may not feel comfortable getting a mortgage using the Revolut model, which is where there's no one to talk to. And I just kind of think all of those details need to be just ironed out a little bit to see how good it's going to be. And really the big thing, of course, is the rate. So is it going to undercut the competition? Because if it doesn't, will people go to Revolut to get a mortgage with a rate of 3.5% when they can get a rate of maybe 3% with AIB or whoever already?
Well, they must be looking at the market going, we can move the needle here because of what's happening. How are our mortgage rates at the moment in comparison to the rest of Europe?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. So at the moment, our mortgage rates are a little bit higher.
Yeah.
Now, until recently, they were actually much higher. But then, there's obviously been a lot going on with the cost of living crisis and with mortgage rates going up by the ECB. So they're a little bit more competitive than they were. But in general, mortgage rates in Ireland are around maybe 0.5 percentage point higher than they are in the rest of Europe. So look, you'd hope that with Revolut coming in, a little bit of extra competition is going to put downward pressure on mortgage rates. But without getting too technical, there's other reasons why mortgage rates in Ireland are so high. And that may also impact on Revolut being able to offer lower rates. Because, for example, here, it can be quite difficult to repossess a property if a mortgage goes into arrears. That makes mortgage lending risky. That means banks have to charge a little bit more. There's questions as to whether Revolut will also have to charge a little bit more as a result of that. So, as I kind of keep saying, there's a few kind of questions that need to be answered before we see just how great and how competitive the product is going to be. Because the application process, I'm sure, will be brilliant. It will be smooth. But for most people at home, they'll be saying, that's fine, but will I actually get the mortgage in the end?
Yeah.
This is an interesting point about customer service, that side of it. And even actually recently stories about customers experiencing fraud and having issues in connection with a human. So do you think having the IT side of it might improve the offering and a little bit more trust?
Yes and no. I mean, there's still an issue with safety when it comes to Revolut. I would say, though, the issue with safety is more of a thing when it's your savings. So, for example, if you have 10,000 euro in savings, you might say, is it safe with Revolut? Is it going to go? I would say if Revolut gives you 300,000 euro, like if somebody wants to steal my mortgage, good luck. You can take it. So the onus is more on them. But the IT side, as I keep saying, the IT side will make it very easy, I'm sure, to apply. But if you have a lot of AI, and not a huge amount of human input into a mortgage application decision, my fear is that there might be a lot of computer says no. So you might submit an application, and whereas if you submitted it with PTSB or AIB, they might ring you back and say, there's a few things we want to discuss, but we'll get you over the line. Whereas with Revolut, if they've no humans, it could just be computer says no, computer says no. And we do like the personal touch in Ireland.
Absolutely. And it's nice to be able to go, I need your help, and to walk in and see someone. But there are providers on the market, someone like Avant Money or something like that, that have kind of changed the game a little bit, but you're not going to be talking directly to them. It is all about the broker kind of dealing with that. So it has been done before.
It kind of has, but certainly with Avant, you can still chat to someone. And Avant works through the broker channel, which applies to around 50% of lending in Ireland now goes through brokers. We don't know yet whether Revolut is going to be a brokerage. So we don't know whether you can get a mortgage through a brokerage with Revolut, if that makes sense. So it could all just be Revolut by themselves through the app. With a computer, so how much human input is there going to be? And I think there'll have to be some human input, because mortgage applications by their nature are just that little bit tricky.
Yeah, absolutely. Do they have 2.7 million customers in Ireland, as they say?
They do, and probably by the time the year is over, they'll probably have 3 million. The thing, though, is a lot of those customers are not necessarily using their Revolut account for their current account. So we all use Revolut.
Is their salary going into it?
Exactly. And that's the thing. And that'll be interesting as well, because everyone uses Revolut in some shape or form, but they've struggled, I think, to get people to take out credit cards with them, to take out personal loans. They might just struggle a little bit with mortgages. But look, I don't want to sound too negative. I'm kind of playing devil's advocate a little bit. It is a good thing, but just the devil is in the detail, you know?
More people coming into the market is always going to be good as well. Listen, Dara Cassidy from bonkers.ie, really interesting. Thank you so much for that.